I'm excited because you have some new music here out. You have a new song out
Absolutely.
now, but you have a whole mess of music coming here shortly. I know people often tend to describe you maybe as like pop, R&B, but is there a way that you tend to describe your music?
Yeah, I mean, I think I want to get to a point where it really is multidimensional. Like, I think a goal of mine is to really break the barrier of what genre is because there's so many ways that I consider expressing myself musically. And sometimes it's hard when you do kind of, condense it into one thing because I do want my music to serve all kind of like areas of the spectrum, no matter what type of music you listen to, whether it's country, pop, R&B, jazz, whatever. I want it to serve its purpose and hopefully in a multi-faceted way of an audience. But I will, with all that being said, being an artist and first starting out, you do have to kind of be a little bit more targeted. So the two strong, like that's just the harsh reality of it, Jamie. So the two of the strongest genres to be, I guess that I'm targeting my sound to would be in the R&B and pop space. So I call it, yeah, pop R&B. And then I do want to say, I think even with that being said, it has gotten a little bit more soulful because those soulful elements inside of me, I don't really you can't break away from those. So I think when you hear records like Trouble and Why You Texting Me and soulful records like that, I think it's serving R&B starting out as well too. Yeah, if that
Well,
answers it.
of course, yes.
Thanks.
Ruined is such a fun, epic track. I think that people are really embracing it. What kind of response have you already been receiving to the song?
Oh my gosh. So it really blows my mind, really. Even with me starting out and being a new artist, I think I'm lucky in a way to be able to notice a lot of the reception that I get. I want to be present online in these times so that I can hear what my fans are saying and what the listeners are saying. And I think they're the most excited thing that I was excited that happened when I put Ruined out was like the healing aspect, like people messaging me, thanking me for releasing a song like this because not only was I speaking from a vulnerable place, but it touched a lot of other people. And I knew that it would because I knew that this is a situation, heartbreak and loss and things. That's something that unfortunately a lot of people go through. And I was hoping that it really resonated with people, but to know that people were messaging me saying that this actually makes me feel good. It makes me feel better. Like there's so much serotonin in this for me because it seems like you're singing a part of my life. And I'm like, wow, then my goal is accomplished. So I think the healing aspect of being able to not just tell a story, but tell someone's story is something I'm super grateful for with Ruined. Yeah. Yeah.
How did you decide that was going to be the first song off this upcoming EP?
Oh my gosh. Well, so I did Trouble, I did Face, and then I did Ruin. So I will say Jane Ruin is the most recent one that I put out coming I guess some weeks out from the EP. And I think that when I'm listening, I'll make a collection of songs because I love creating. So I do have this overwhelming number of songs. So it can be challenging, I'm sure, to a lot of people, condensing it and making sure that you find the right single. But what I listen for when I'm making these songs, when it's time for the deliberation process, is just something that um, kind of like is replayable, or what I would say is like has a magic. Sometimes you can just feel it. And I don't know if it's unexplainable, but there are songs that you just listen to and you can feel like, oh my gosh, this is really special. And Ruin was one of those songs, along with Trouble and Face that I released this year. But Ruin was one of those songs that just had that special feeling. I was like, I feel like people will want to listen to this over and over again, and for it to be like a ballad in some sense, but for it to still have that catchiness is like something really special that you come by. So I just knew I had to release it as a single, and luckily the reception that it's getting, I think I was right. I hope, yeah, yeah.
I was going to ask if you have a personal favorite song off of MJW1. but it sounds like maybe Ruined is such a standout for you, or maybe just because we're talking about it, it's such a standout for you.
Yeah, no, oh my gosh. So, well, there's six on the project. So I kind of asked myself this, like, what is my favorite one? But they're all my babies in some sense, because there's so much passion that I put into the records, making them and creating them. But I will say, if I had to choose one, I'm going to say Ruin because we are promoting Ruin. That's the most recent one. But Trouble is probably my favorite so far. And then Hems, which is the first track on the EP, is probably my other favorite. Yeah. So I would say Trouble Ruined and Hems are probably like my top three favorites. Yeah.
When it comes to your songwriting, do you have a typical process that you do? Maybe you start with lyrics and then you find music to accompany it, or even the other way around. Do you have a typical process when it comes to your songwriting?
My process is always starts with the melody first. Um, I really am a huge melodic melody fan. In a lot of the music that I listen to outside of my music, I'm very focused on the melody. A lot of the time, I just like intricate melodies, different melodies, unique melodies that really can bring the lyric to life and do it in a really unique and extraordinary way. So I start with melody, and then a lot of the time I'll come in with a concept, or the collaborator that I may be working with will come in with a concept or something that we just are inspired by when we hear the melodies and the production, and then we'll come up with it. But I think that a real magical moment in the studio is when and I think this is the most underrated, the melody a lot of the time and the production a lot of the time can determine what the subject matter will be about. Because there's a magic in chords. Like sometimes chords can be negative, and then sometimes chords can be vibrant, which will make us want to talk about something more happy. You know what I mean? So I think melody first, lyric after, and fun continuing on. It's probably a process. Yeah.
When it comes to the production side of the music that you make, do you tend to have much of a hands-on approach with that as well?
I do. I think in decision making, is probably where I'm most active in the production side. I got asked a question yesterday, for another interview that I did, and it asked me if I had a lot of, similar to the question you just asked, Jamie, if I had a lot of a hand in like the beat production. And I wish that I did more of that. I think that not that it made the project lacking anyway, because my producer collaborative experience is wonderful, thank God. But just for the sake of myself doing it in the future, I want to make sure that when it comes to making the beat, like that's something that I grew up doing. So I think that that's something that I will do more so in the future. But vocal production is probably where I just shine in the production experience and process. Just being able to guide the melodies myself, guide the harmonies myself, and guide the composition myself is something that I'm really grateful for. So I hope you guys hear that element in the project. Yeah.
Well, we have this EP out here shortly. How are you going to celebrate?
Eating, eating. I'm going to be eating a lot. No, but I think that it's just good to give it to the world. I think the space that I'm in right now is just kind of like smooth. It's just unpredictable. Like I think that I have these huge goals and things that I want to achieve with the project. So it's unpredictable, man. Like I just hope that it goes well, Jamie. I just hope that people love it, and I'm just excited to celebrate with the listeners and my fans. To be able to share this moment together is something that I've been waiting for, and I'm super excited for people to hear it. Yeah, but I'm gonna eat. Yes, I'm gonna eat something tonight. Oh my gosh, yeah.
With the EP out coming momentarily, is this
I know. Oh my
a
God.
chance for you to head out on tour soon, or are you even back working on new music already?
Ooh, both, Jamie. It's really time. I think, well, first I want to say doing this project, this is my debut. So I think I wanted to make it a note where my my fans got the opportunity to grow with me. And with saying that, a lot of the records that you hear are records that I created from the start of me being, signed. So getting that kind of like off my chest and kind of like releasing that into the world, it's time to now grow, and now you'll experience where I am in like the present day. You know what I mean? So when it comes to new music, it's just time to like touch areas that I've never touched before, like melodies that I've never touched before. Like the sky is really the limit. So listening to this project, it just gives an introduction to me, and so on. We're going to get really exciting. And then with touring, I hope to tour this year. I'm going to say I will be. I'm doing a few shows next week, which is exciting. And then the sky's the limit with that too. There's so many cities I want to go to and really do, and I'm really really excited. So we're going to be performing a lot this year. So excited. Festivals and all that.
All right, we're ready.
Okay, yay, yay.
What would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the incredible music that you make?
Oh, thank you, Jerry. That's so sweet. I want to say thank you and I love you. Um, y'all are the best. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you for allowing me to be myself and loving me for that. And I just can't wait to keep feeding you guys this music that comes straight from my heart. And just stay tuned and stream MJW1 tonight.